All right, well, the evening is set to begin as your premier candidate for the Eastern Cape, Tiphany Harmse, addresses each and every one of you. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the radiant Tiphany Harmse.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Naan Tauma. I love the vibe from the Victory area here. I love it. Can I get a good evening? Thank you, gentlemen. Good evening, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, Program Director, Mr. Jason Gabriel. Esteemed guest, in particular, I extend my greetings to the leadership of the Patriotic Alliance across the province in attendance with a salute. I hereby observe all protocols. Julle, ek is gewoonlik iemand wat, ek praat uit my hart uit and I'm all over the place. But today you're going to see a different me. I'm going to give Cyril Ramaphosa a run for his money with my formality. I want to thank you all for this generous and gracious gesture. It is as touching as it is somewhat unbelievable. Knowing where I come from, I could almost pinch myself right here in front of all of you. Before I continue, however, I want us to reflect on the multiple challenges rampaging our communities across the province. Gang-related deaths that has been crippling communities into silence. Teenage pregnancy statistics. Drug abuse. Unemployment, especially amongst our youth. GBV and femicide. Poor service delivery. The water crisis. Widening poverty margins in an ongoing recession, general lawlessness, failing government interventions, and the usual suspects of corruption tearing through South Africa. This list is not closed. In light of the above-mentioned back-breaking challenges that we grapple with as a province and communities, I would like to venture and state that all hope is not lost. I base this hope on an oft-quote statement. When principled people remain silent and do nothing, evil will flourish. Tonight I believe that I'm in the presence of principled people. I believe that you have all come here this evening because you refuse to stand by and not do anything to help turn the tide in South Africa. I believe you have all come to literally put your money where your mouths are, that you are done with social media dog whistling, fear-inducing news bulletins, and that you realize the time for putting your shoulder to the wheel has come. And to you I say, salute, Pasakana ons baizani. Tonight I'm looking into a sea of faces that are pooling collective resilience and hope that the Eastern Cape cannot be discounted or written off. That the Eastern Cape is able to become a change agent and prime example of efficiency, ethical administration, and all-round excellence in a country plagued by rampant corruption. Yella, before I go further, there's one thing that I didn't do. That is why I'm pausing. I want to give honor this evening to one person in this room, and my mother mustn't feel some type of way. My grandmother is 87 years old and she's here tonight. Ma, where are you? That is my grandmother. That's the woman who's been my backbone. Just want you to see that that's where I come from. 87 years old and she's here tonight. By the grace of God, that's a God-fearing, praying woman. That is why I'm here tonight. I just want to reiterate that part. So back to where I was. It is an open secret that I have chosen the Patriotic Alliance as my political home of choice. As such, I have, and now again commit in your presence, to serving the people of this province with every breath in my body. I'm doing so because one day in 2012, I was watching television and Tata Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela was being interviewed. I did not fully grasp what he was saying because it was not by young guy type mense. But I would never forget it. Overcoming poverty is not a gesture of charity, it is an act of justice. Let me repeat. Overcoming poverty is not a gesture of charity, it is an act of justice. Now more than ever, I find myself wanting to embody this statement. I want to dedicate the rest of my life to championing the cause of my people. No matter their race, no matter their background, no matter the level of the education, no matter their religion, no matter their age. If you are South African, I want to fight for you. I have the energy, I have the passion, and I'm learning every day and sharpening my skill set to better serve you. Above all, I am surrounded by like-minded individuals who are shaping my political understanding and investing immensely into my goal of South Africa as a unified role player in the global scene. Vision 2024. Each of us here present have a constitutional obligation to promote peace, justice, and to strengthen our very young democracy. It is incumbent on us to continue building and fortifying the ideals of a province that contributes meaningfully to the economy of our country. Now follows a glimpse into what I have dubbed V2424 Beyond. Vision 24 hours in 2024 and beyond. The work must continue 24 hours a day. There can be no rest when there is so much work to be done. Simply put, ek is gereed en beskikbaar. Building economic strength. Briefly, our province has long been a great contributor to the economic well-being of the country. We are the fourth largest contributor to the GDP, gross domestic product. Over the years, though we have seen a steady decline in investments due to many factors such as dilapidated infrastructure, political interference due to many factors, and in the day-to-day operations of some of our key cities, and overall skills. I am developing a strategy to combat infighting, third force capturing, and hijacking of the provincial purse strings in order for the taps of investment to flow freely again. I've recognized some sectors, such as manufacturing, that deserves to be resuscitated and be restored to its former glory. It is right that cities like Gqeberha and East London form the backbone of the economy in the province and therefore requires urgent intervention. My aim will be to inject as much funds as possible into ensuring that these cities no longer depend on Eskom and are off the grid. Helping to get the big cities off the grid will not only inspire the confidence of citizens, but it will inspire investor confidence and will also assist in ensuring that the businesses operating in towns such as our capital, Bishu, Kariga, Makanda, King Williamstown, Queenstown, Graafrenet, Cradock, Aliwal North are all not overlooked and unappreciated for its economic importance, and neither will the agriculture sector in the province have to pay the price in the long run. SMMEs. COVID-19 compounded the issues that small businesses were plagued by, and many could not survive this pandemic. It is also no secret that SMMEs have fallen victim to corruption, and many people have sadly lost their lives during various stages of tender procurement processes. Through a 5-phase plan, I aim to provide sustainable support to businesses that will ensure employment to many citizens and stimulation of the economy in these communities. Creating a fairer trade environment and rooting out the culture of booty tenderpreneurship will be at the top of my priority list. The water crisis. It saddens me to note that those among us who bear the brunt of inadequate leadership are always the poorest of the poor. The province is one vastly consisting of lalis, which are rural areas. I imagine that if we feel the pinch here in suburban areas, those in the rurals must be breathing through the proverbial wound. My solution to ending the water crisis in the province is simple: to do the work. Combat corruption and maladministration. Fix all leaks. Explore the capacity for expansion of catchment areas. Keep up with general maintenance and mostly to educate our citizens regularly on water intelligence. Healthcare. Briefly, it is glaringly obvious that there is much to be done. The intersecting thread is that corruption, maladministration, and managerial incompetence must be weeded out in order to secure better services to our people. What debilitates the sector is mishandling of the budget combined with greed and ineptitude. My plan is therefore to engage robustly with relevant stakeholders to implement effective measures that will not only prevent the siphoning off of funds critical to decent service delivery, but also to ensure that those guilty of pilfering are swiftly brought to book. Service delivery. I have heard the cry of the people, and my response to the above is to implement the suggestions that have been forthcoming from the citizens for as long as I can remember. These are: 1, streamlining the systems and processes that are already available. We've seen that most of the systems in place are ineffective and only serve to frustrate the citizens more. 2, effective communication and feedback is essential. It's incredibly important to continuously engage communities, especially when there are challenges such as worker strikes or any impediment that prevents service delivery from taking place. I have to state for the record that the suburbs more readily enjoy the above benefits. It's the fact. But the time has now come to ensure that the indigent also sit at the table. Die van julle van die suburbs, wat in die suburbs bly, kan my na skool buite die hek kry as julle 'n probleem het met wat ek nou gesê het. Safety and security. Amongst others, my desire is to see a crime-free province. To that end, I will be working tirelessly to implement strategic communal projects that will ensure a ramp up in local law enforcement. This will include utilizing the Metro Police more effectively, and I am peering into incentivizing policing forums and the Buurtwag initiative. Jammer julle man, ek is baie nervous. People in general, and the vulnerable in particular in our province, deserve to feel and be safe. Mothers and fathers who wake up before the sun rises deserve to leave their homes without fearing. Children deserve to walk to and from school without anxiety. I have so much to say, but I'm also beholden to the people I'm working with, and they have asked that I do not expand too much on this topic. In other words, die mense sê ek moenie nou alles uitlappie. Corruption. Corruption het sy eie subheading. I say this with a heavy heart. Throughout this speech, you have heard the word corruption more times than you would have cared to hear it. It's absolutely disheartening, but we are a province plagued by it. Every other day there is some scandal that breaks out in the news. I mention this in order to state that corruption is not an insurmountable feat to overcome. It can be overcome by transparency and letting the citizens into our governmental confidence. This is part of my strategy for Vision 2424. A government with nothing to hide will no doubt avail itself to account to its people, and I'm going to ensure that I'm accountable to people of this province. Secondly, people who are guilty should be subjected to the legal processes. It will be my aim to work with stakeholders to improve the mechanisms of accountability that are already in place to ensure that justice is seen to be done. In conclusion, I tend to have a boots on the ground approach, which I've always had. If anybody knows me here, I wear safeties more than I wear any other shoes. In fact, this is not normal for me. While I appreciate the importance of meetings and daily administration if I had to go to province, I will also be ensuring that I'm visible all over the province. If people entrust me with their funding and vote, I have every intention of rising to the occasion where the deliverables are concerned. I would pray that history absolve me one day, but I cannot do it alone. I'm humbly asking for each and everyone's help sitting in this room. I am one of my people. I am one with my people. I am my people. My name is Tiphany Harmse, and I am your premier candidate for 2024. Salute.
Keep the cheers coming in, ladies and gentlemen. Your Patriotic Alliance Premier candidate for the Eastern Cape, Tiphany Harmse. Definitely a force to be reckoned with indeed.